One big mistake that a lot of people make too, especially with astrology, and one thing I just thought of and was like, um, don't wait for a transit in order to do something. Like sometimes when it comes to, when you get into astrology, you start to understand like how to see the transits and even trying to look ahead at different moons and stuff. Because I do a lot of this, even like with the planner and like making it to where, oh, you can see transits ahead of time. And it's a cool tool, but like that's the thing about astrology you have to keep in mind. It's a tool, so it needs to be used in a way where you don't, rely on it and make it more important than what it is. What I mean by that is like sometimes you'll say you have a goal or something you're trying to accomplish for yourself, and you'll be like, okay, well, I'll just wait till the moon is in this sign or this house before I do this part of my plan or my goal. Now, yeah, from a sit back standpoint, it might make sense logically, but what you really you start to take the actual magic of it away.
Yeah, when God tell you to go, you need to go.
Yeah, when God tell you to go, you gotta go. That's way more important.
You can't be planning motivation.
Exactly.
Like, I'm inspired to do that.
Right. Next week, you know what I'm saying? Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Inspired right now.
Exactly. You have to take on, like, when God inspired you to move, you gotta move. That's for today. You know what I'm saying? That's for today. Cause who said you was even finna live that long? Who said you was gonna have the time? That inspiration you'll see time and time again. That no, like when that day come around, that's a whole different energy. You got that idea today, so you need to make time for it today. And a lot of times people fuck themselves over because they rely on, they try to plan it out or think, that's the essence of the saying of man plans and God laughs, or saying humans plan and then God laughs, because it's like, no, God gave you the inspiration to do something in that moment, so it's your responsibility to take that idea and make it real then, because if you don't, it's not going to be available to you later on. You know what I'm saying? And God only gives you so many different chances to actually act on the ideas that you've been given. And at a certain point, this is when you start to create a certain situation in your life where you put yourself at, you plant a certain amount of bad seeds that lead to you hitting the dead end, or one of those catastrophic moments in your life where you praying to God to just show you a sign. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know. You just like, God, please, please, I don't know what's going on in my life. Everything is going, however it's going. And a lot of times that stems from you planting bad seeds by just thinking that you can plan this type of thing, or, procrastinate on what you were given to do or inspired to do in that moment in time. So, I just wanted to make this quick video talking about that, just to make sure that even with all this astrology shit, you keep it in mind that it's just a tool for you. It's not a spiritual system to rely on. A lot of times people be trying to turn it into something more, because everybody on a human level, everybody wants to feel like they can predict what's going to happen tomorrow. Everybody wants to be sure of themselves. And the thing is, every day you have to show up and be present in yourself in order to make the right decisions. You can't sit back and just be like, oh, well, I'll just wait till the moon is in Scorpio and it's trying in my moon, and I think that's the best. It's like, nah, you can think like that in terms of understanding the energies and just, there's ways you can use that. But when it comes to, spirituality and like, you as a spirit, you receiving different ideas, you having, you developing your own abilities, because even that, you don't realize, okay, yeah, you can plan something for, say, a week out, right? Like, oh yeah, in the next week the alignments are going to be in a way where I think I could use that energy, even if first of all, that day is not going to play out how you planned it. Second of all, you have to put in the energy work to lead up to that too. You know what I'm saying? So even if it is something you're planning for long term, because we have long term goals. Let's say you do have a long term goal and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till I'm ready to do this. You can't forget to do the work in between, to show up every day in between before those big events. A lot of times people plan based upon a dream that they have, but don't set goals in between that actually make that dream realistic to achieve. So you end up with just this, basically unattainable goal. but you know what I'm saying, it's unattainable, not because it's not possible, just because you aren't aware, focused, and actually putting in the energy work day by day to lead to that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they say, you know what I'm saying, developing the ability is way more important than trying to just focus on the manifestation, because a lot of people set a lot of things, announce a lot of things, express a lot of things, or you know, put things out and say, you know, they do it because they expect something out of it. You know what I'm saying? So like when you was dealing with, you was putting together say you was doing music, you put together an album, but in the back of your mind your intention was, I'm trying to use this to pay my bills. So everything that went into it, you know, was about getting the expectation out of it. This is how you kind of you don't take God's route to whatever it is that you're doing. You're doing this based upon what you think you can get out of it. And what ends up happening is when you put it out, it has much less impact. You know, the things that yield the most results are the things that were done out of a different space, a space that's more open and free, a space that was like, no, I just did this because I felt like I had to, or I did this because this is what I wanted to do. This is me. When you do things from more of that genuine space, you end up reaping a lot more of the reward on the end of that. So, you know, you have to kind of just keep it pure, because when you start to get too much into the planning and thinking and into the details of things on that level, you know, you start to kind of just invert something that wasn't made. You know, you start to abuse the tool, and you know, you give more importance to that tool than you probably need to. You know, and yeah. So I just want to make that quick video. Just, you know, don't get too lost in you know, trying to plan things like that. You know, you gotta let things flow. But when God gives you a inspiration to do something, do it in that moment. Don't wait for a transit to do something. Much love. Catch you on the next one.